India's growth story is no secret. And as India grows, our technology industry and sector grows. And within that, the smartphone market explodes as well. But according to the latest statistics that we've gathered here on Tech Today, it's also the premium flagship category in the smartphones that's really hotting up in India. And within that, a niche known as foldables. I kid you not, 8 lakh units, nearly 1 million units will be sold by the end of this year. And the foldable space has grown by nearly 20% since last year. So this year we saw the Samsung Z Fold 6, which is the 6th rendition of Korean smartphone maker Samsung's Fold. And of course, this is an expensive and popular device owing to Samsung's marketing and of course their wide distribution network. But then came along the OnePlus Open, and this seemed like the best value for money, the best bang for your buck foldable out there. And then all of a sudden, one of the world's biggest tech companies, which launched a foldable last year in the United States, but did not launch one in India, has focused or shifted its focus to India with its new premium foldable, the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. And honestly, I saw this at Google HQ, but it's here in the flesh. So it's clear that this is the battle of foldables. This one seems like the most normal phone when it's folded. And then when it opens up, it seems like something that can put most tablets to shame. So in this battle of foldables, that's all I want to know. Which one really comes out on top? So how does the Pixel Fold really stack up against these other foldables? I'll tell you that first by showing you this device. If you look at the screen, when it's folded, obviously this has a 6.3-inch OLED cover display with 120Hz refresh rate and Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protection. And on the outside, it has 2700 nits of peak brightness. Now, the inner display is like a proper 8-inch book. It can put most tablets out of business. And of course, it comes with a 120Hz OLED display. But what Google has managed to do, which is the unthinkable, is when it's closed, not only is it like any other phone, its own Pixel 9 lineup, you wouldn't be able to tell from a distance if I held it at this angle if this was a normal phone or a foldable. And I think that is no mean feat. So of course, on launch day in Mountain View, I was toying with this phone, but now that we have it here in India, I think this one would be very popular, especially because of the form factor. Google also gives you 7 years of Android updates on this particular phone, and it is an absolute pleasure to hold. Now, the only thing is, I hope we can get a nice cover, because even if you see the camera module, it's very different from what competition offers. Yes, this is what the Chinese manufacturers are doing, which is different, but this is the boring approach that Samsung has taken versus what the Google Pixel Fold looks like. And that's something that has looked amazing on Pixel phones for a long time. That camera bump makes it look like a real camera. Now, if you look at any of these foldable devices and you compare them to their non-foldable counterparts, for instance, the Z Fold 6 with the S24 Ultra, or the OnePlus with the normal Pro line, which is not a foldable, you'll always see that the cameras on a foldable device or even a flip device are slightly inferior. That's primarily due to the form factor and the fact that you have to put so much on this tiny, slim body. It's somewhat similar with the Pixel Fold, but what's different for the Pixel Fold is that Google, over the years, with lesser sensors, with limited hardware, has managed to do so much on the software front. That's where Pixel devices have done better than most of their competition. But if you're talking about the hardware on this device, then of course, it comes with a 48 megapixel main lens, a 10.8 megapixel telephoto lens, and a 5x optical zoom, and of course, a 10.5 megapixel ultra-wide camera. But if we're comparing apples to apples, okay, that was a bad pun, then where this device really does fall short is with a Tensor G4 chipset. Does it manage to do everything that we throw at it? Probably, because it's all optimized within the stock Android ecosystem. But if you're comparing it to what these devices have with Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 and some of these superior chipsets, which are almost on par with what Apple's doing with their silicon, then that's one department where maybe this is not as strong on the Geekbench scores or some of those benchmarks, but honestly, in using this device, it gets the job done perfectly. The one thing that these other manufacturers can do is include more AI features, because that's something that everyone seems to be obsessed with in 2024. Apple Intelligence will be here in a few days, and there'll be a nice surprise for you on Tech Today, so stay tuned. But when it comes to these devices, the OnePlus Open doesn't necessarily give you any version of Gemini or anything like Apple Intelligence or Galaxy AI. With the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6, Samsung's been working on years on Galaxy AI. And they have some of those features on this device, in fact, most of those features. But Galaxy AI has been, well, a hit or miss until now. The Pixel is fresh off the boat with all of the Gemini advanced features, the Gemini Live features, largely integrating Google's AI large language models into this device. And this is perhaps the first foldable with that sort of access. But now I'm going to reveal the OnePlus Open's superpower in this premium flagship foldables race, which happens to be its price. This is still the most affordable of these three or any of the foldables that we've reviewed on the show. So if you're talking about the OnePlus Open, it starts at 1,39,999 rupees. So at 1.4 lakh rupees, this is the most affordable or inexpensive of the lot. And if you want the starting price of the Samsung Z Fold 6, then it's nearly 1.65 lakhs. So it's 1,65,000 rupees. But what we at Tech Today think is perhaps the most practical when it comes to features and genuine usability, utilitarianism, the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Well, this device is also, unfortunately, the most expensive here. In India, it starts at 1,72,999 rupees. That's much more than any of these devices. So is that a true bang for your buck? Well, if you want stock Android, this is your best bet. But what's strange is it's actually cheaper than the Z Fold 6 in the United States, which is its home market. So I'm just trying to figure out what the pricing strategy is like. But yes, if you're willing to shell out the big bucks, you want to try out what's happening in the world of AI, especially in the world of Gemini, and also trying to figure out what it means to use a foldable, which is absolutely amazing when you open it up. This is the Pixel 9 Pro Fold.